guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am so excited that you decided to join me here today for another Let's Chat. So, as you guys probably know, the gameplay trailer for The Sims 4 Discover University came out today, dropped today, however you want to phrase it. And we got so much more insight as to what elements have been added to gameplay for this release. So I wanted to take a couple of minutes here and chat about the things that I noticed and basically pose all of the questions that I have regarding the little sneak peeks that we got. So the very first thing that we kind of hear about is scholarships. So the character here, Julia Wright, I believe is the name. It's gonna be really embarrassing if it's not. She said that she got a scholarship to go to university. So scholarships are a thing. My questions about that, is that based on aptitude, similar to like The Sims 3 or The Sims 2, where you have actual like skills that translate to scholarship opportunities? Do those scholarship opportunities restrict you to a certain major? That could go down a rabbit hole all in and of itself. So that's kind of where my questions lie with the scholarships. And then we hear about her transferring housing assignments a lot. So that means, at least what I think it means, is that there is going to be a roommate system. So I want to know if they can request to change roommates, and are the dorms co-ed? That's actually a big thing for me. So could you actually have like a male and female sim dorm in the same room? Does that matter at all? That's a big question for me. Like, it doesn't matter to me, and I'd actually prefer any sim of any gender to be able to stay in the same room. So I'm really stoked about that. And is there a limit to the amount of roommates? So when I was in college, there were doubles, triples, and quads. It looked as though most of the rooms that they showed were just doubles. So that's actually kind of nice though. Like, I don't know what I would prefer in regards to gameplay, but I think it's nice to just have one roommate. That kind of makes sense to me. And then we look at sports. So I am really giddy about this one. They did show soccer or football, whatever you call it, in the actual trailer. Are there any other sports that they'll be able to play? We already have basketball, so are they going to actually utilize that gameplay feature from City Living and tie it into this? That would be really cool. And are these active sports? So are there practices and games like in a schedule that your Sims will actually create? Because I'm assuming they have a class schedule, right? And then we look at the robotics organizations as well as the debate club. I'll kind of group those together. So are there competitions for these that are active, or do your Sims go down rabbit holes? Could it be a healthy mix of both? That would be really cool. Are these organizations actually restricted to certain majors? So for example, the robotics organization, is that only restricted to like the STEM programs that they have? Because they actually released some majors too that were on like a blog post somewhere. We can talk about those in a second as well. So that's really exciting to me. There's also the question of, does the evil robot that they show in this loop into the villainy major? That's one of my major questions. There's also the transferability to other colleges. So like I said, it looks like Julia started out at Foxbury Institute and then went over to Brightchester. So kind of with those organizations and the potential restriction, are there the same majors that are offered at each college? It kind of seems like a silly question because it looks as though Foxbury Institute is very like STEM and technology focused in general, whereas Brightchester seems to be more on like the liberal art side, if you kind of want to get down to the nitty gritty of it. So I'm very curious about the majors that are offered at each college, and do those credits transfer over? Is there like a general education portion of their degrees? Are there like some basics that they can test out of? Ooh, that's an idea. Could they test out of them when they're teens? See, rabbit holes for days. I also, I work in higher education, so I'm very curious about this. But so what is the program breakdown as well? So that's a huge question for me. Like I said, are there like gen ed requirements that they can knock out as teens? Or is it really just like taking courses that are specific to a major to prep them for a career? Because we do have new careers, and I'm assuming that some of these majors will actually correlate to existing careers too. And let's see, what else did I have? So, oh, the secret society. All of the questions, I can't even list them all out. I just have 1,000,001 questions that have 0 answers right now, but all of the questions about that, I'm assuming keeping the secret society a secret was intentional. So we're not gonna worry about that one. But then there's also the introduction of loans. And granted, student loans kind of suck, but they provide opportunity, right? They allow those who may not have the resources to go to college to go to college. So loans, do these extend to other areas outside of university? Are we going to get the functionality or capabilities of taking out a mortgage? We have mods like that. There's like the SimCity Loans mod or something like that that's out there. And basically you can choose a loan package to go ahead and like buy a home or buy something. And then of course it accrues interest like any loan would, and you have to pay it back within a certain amount of time. Is that kind of how this is going to work? If they take out loans, like they're going to have to make payments back on those, right? Otherwise they don't differentiate from scholarships. Therefore, I'm curious about a banking system, or is it just going to be basically a bill that comes out of their household funds, just like their bills now? You know what I mean? Like, how is that going to be weighed? So I'm really curious about that. They also noted study groups, and I'm very curious to see if those function in a similar way to clubs, which we got from Get Together. Curious about that one. And the big one for me, I could spend so long asking questions about this one, but that mom in college, so many questions. So can any adult life stages attend classes? I'm talking young adults, adults, or even elders. Can they all attend classes? Because that kind of like dovetails into these other questions I have of, can they sign up for single classes to chip away at a degree program? Which means like, I'm asking, are there night classes and day classes? Can they also maintain a full-time job while doing this? Can they live on campus or in campus housing with children and families? And can anyone from any world check out the campus lot? So can you actually be on the campus without being at university as a student? Because I remember, I think it was in The Sims 3 or The Sims 2, if I'm remembering correctly, you couldn't access the university world unless you were actively going there to attend classes. And when you attended classes, like you just stayed on the campus. And once you finished whatever amount of credits that you selected, you got sent home to your home world. But then again, in The Sims 3, you couldn't travel between worlds to begin with. So I'm assuming that they would be able to do that. But with that though, like, oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Aside from like anyone being able to check out the campus world, are there online classes? I really hope there's something like that. So maybe your adult Sims, or even maybe your teenage Sims that have gotten A's in school and have proven themselves to be at a college level, can actually go online and take online classes. I think that would be so cool. And again, there are mods out there that do this as well. I think there's one by Kawaii Stacy where I think it's Better Schools. I don't remember if you can do that with the Better Schools mod, but basically there's one that I do have where you can go online and take online classes. And that's super exciting to me. And the big question for me, and I don't know if anyone else initially thought of asking this question, I could of course just be talking out of my butt because I'm sure so many people thought of it, but I was really excited to kind of formulate the question of, is there daycare? Is there childcare on a campus if you're seeing moms with their kids? Granted, it showed that mom and her toddler in the library at the actual campus, so maybe there isn't. I don't know, but I thought that would be cool. And then of course there's all of the questions in the world about the new careers. So are any of these active careers? What majors will correlate with what careers? So the majors that were noted, I saw them floating around Twitter. They came from some blog post from something Sims related. I mean, that's a very loose connection here, right? But the majors that I noted that were listed and people were chatting about were culinary arts, drama, fine art, biology, communications, economics, physics, computer science, language and literature, villainy, psychology, history, and art history. I'm making assumptions that culinary arts would, well, transfer over to the culinary career. Drama may transfer over to the acting career, or maybe even the entertainer career. That would be a tie too, I think. The fine art could tie into a bunch of different careers that we have. Biology could tie into the science, but so could physics. So I don't know, there are a bunch that could tie in, and maybe it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Like, I don't know, maybe it gives you a skill boost. So like, what do these degrees actually do for your sim too? Because previously they actually just placed your sim at a higher level in their career that they chose, like level 3 or something. And then I saw the cafeteria and I was just excited because I think that's a wonderful asset and it's definitely necessary at a college campus. And are there going to be part-time jobs or campus jobs? At the end of the video here, she asks, like, can I be a mascot? Do they get paid? Great question, Julia. Can you be a mascot and can you get paid? I don't know. We're going to find out. So those are all of my thoughts now with the gameplay trailer. I'm super stoked about it. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, what your questions are, and what you're hoping to see. I really want to start a dialogue. That's why I make these videos. They are few and far between with the Let's Chats, but I really enjoy them because I just get to babble, stumble over my words, and sound like a complete and total idiot for a little while. So thank you guys for indulging me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!